YouTube, what's going on? It's Jones as I wear my signature plaid and flagged hat. God, it just so happens I wear that so much when I do videos, but it's just I'm most comfortable in it. So listen, so on this transmission today is Valentine's Day, and today's been a pretty interesting day. All right, pretty freaking interesting. From I live near the DC area, Northern Virginia. And today I saw a man get tackled. It's fucking Valentine's Day. This guy's being tackled by uh sound like an officer, seemed like security, but sound like an officer. He didn't have any uniform on. But man, you got this guy, excuse my language, but I'm trying to check out, self-checkout, and I see a guy screaming like a bitch. And I'm like, what the hell? So, man, I couldn't even concentrate. I'm trying to put in my phone number and get this discount, and I was like, what's going on here? So I dropped my stuff. I went and watched and witnessed everything that was going on. I just wanted to make sure that they weren't effing this dude up, because this dude was, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, I thought he was kind of retarded the way he was kind of screaming. So, I was just trying to make sure they weren't taking advantage of another American citizen. And hey, look, nothing against the police. I ain't got nothing against them. I've already had my run-ins. I had a shit ton of cars. They know who I am. So, when you got a bunch of cars and you live in a townhouse, man, it's hard to keep all them things up. So, yeah, man, they know who I am, so I ain't tripping. I've been pulled over a million times. And yo, even if it was profiling, I don't give a I don't freaking care, bro. I will profile someone so quick and usually will get it right that I feel that I'm able to beat you to the punch because someone told you it's not right. I'm not saying that you start being nasty with somebody, but look and see what's going on with they got license plates, tags, what they getting into, vans, cars, all that says something about you. This is how you're supposed to take in information. You see something and you take in that proper information. But that's not what this video is about. Listen, today there was a shooting at an NSA building, right? Fort Meade, all right? So there was a shooting at this NSA building, and whoa, let me not call it a shooting. What the report was is that a car tried to enter it, all right? Like brute force entering is what it sounded like. Cheers. Just so happens that this car was a black SUV, government style. That's what it looked like to me. Also, what it looked like is that that car wasn't trying to enter. It was already in the compound trying to leave. So when you look at it, you see that it's clearly not pointing the direction as if it were trying to get in there. It is, when you watch it, Anti-School, I watch his channel a lot. Yo, if you look at his pictures, they're all pointing out. The pictures are pointing out. This big SUV stuck inside of a barricade, pointing the wrong, the direction to get out. As if, I'm only speculating, as if there were some discussions or something was found out inside the NSA building. Somebody tried to make a run for it, is my guess, and shots were fired. They're not able to tell us who the people are. And I don't think it's because they're not able to tell us. It's because they won't. Now, mind you, citizens of the United States, if you haven't noticed what I've noticed, there's cameras on every building, and now there are portable towers everywhere. Portable freaking towers with cameras on them. I've been noticing this. Walmart parking lot. I've seen them at crosswalks by themselves with the solar panels. Now, there's a difference between like that type of camera that I see that can do the 360-degree motion versus a stupid camera on top of your traffic light trying to correctly do the timing. All right? There's differences there. Oh no. Your phone, when you get to work, how it links up with your computer. For some of you who've noticed that, when you go into a supermarket and it tells you, hey, how's that supermarket? Let's get some review ideas. What do you think about the supermarket? Listen, all of this is connected to one system, and we are in a surveillance state. What else? We're in a surveillance state, period. This is happening. So whenever they want to, and that's our government, I'm sorry, the government's crooked as all hell. Now, the FBI is pretty damn crooked, and that's who's supposed to be investigating this NSA matter. It's funny I use the word matter. James Comey? Now, this was Comey was in the FBI, McCabe was in the FBI, and Rosenstein was in the FBI. Two total constitutional fuck-ups. And that is who's going to do this investigation? I'm not saying, look, all those people pretty much stepped down, blah, blah, blah. It's all fucked up. These people have been using our system, and by our system, they've been using our system against us, and they've made it really powerful, and they've been blackmailing people and taking people down and giving off false information for their narrative. We still don't know what happened in Las Vegas. You gonna tell me somebody like Stephen Paddock's gonna take all them guns, all the hell up there in that hotel, and don't nobody see? No one sees nothing. No one sees nothing. You are kidding me. In this surveillance state, and mind you, a casino is the most surveilled item on the planet. You know what I'm saying? They check you hard. They check you hard. They're looking for people counting cards, all that. They're looking at you hard. All right? Ain't happening. Ain't happening. Now, so we're in this big surveillance state, pretty much, okay? Your phone's connected. Everything's got cameras. You're not going to find payphones. Just everything is connected. I need you to understand this. And when they don't have information, that's really odd because they identify people very quickly. They do. By they, that's our government. Now, let's switch gears here. Totally switch gears. Now, there was a shooting in Florida, Broward County, if I'm correct, right? There was a shooting in Florida, and I'm very sorry for anything that happened. I haven't done my research on it, but you know, I haven't checked it out. I haven't. But listen, folks, here's one thing I want to talk to you about. Is that, as I've mentioned in other things, Americans, the human being especially, is the most sickest animal on the planet. It's the most sickest. We take these medications and we eat food that we can't pronounce. And it's not food. We just calling it food. Just because it's on a shelf doesn't mean that it's food. All of this wreaks havoc on our body and our psyche. Not just that, but we have a government. We have a very large government, which is tyranny. We have a large government that is running as a democracy right now. And you have no clue when someone does something strange, terrible, unhuman. When someone does something like that, you have no clue what pushed them to do it, what made them do it, what kept them on track, when, why, blah, blah. You have no clue. Our government's very corrupt. The names that I just mentioned, those people have been, they've been brought forth for really some large fuck-ups against the Constitution, all right? They're in it for their own personal gain. Now, whenever somebody does something crazy, I'm sorry, but you got to also look at the government like, what the hell are you guys, what are you doing? What the hell are you doing? We know you've got all this information. Are you blackmailing these people? Are you saying something about their family, saying, listen, you need to carry out this deed or something's going to happen to you? And I know that you know who is who, what someone's personality is like because of Facebook and things like that, okay? All these things that are laid out are the tools they need to do what they want, okay? Understand that. So things just aren't as crazy as you think. Now, why would our government want something like that to happen? And once again, I didn't do my research on that person and what happened, and if it did, you know, I didn't do my research. Deepest condolences to anyone's family who's ever stuck in something like that, or anyone, period. No one goes out wanting to get shot. But I notice that people aren't fucking paying attention. They're not when they watch TV, they are in a trance, and anything that TV says, they're down with it. Just like that vehicle traveling outside the NSA building, crashing all those barriers, traveling outside. It didn't hop those barriers and come inside, and shots were fired. Listen, and they're not able to tell you who the people are. They're telling you that they haven't identified them yet. You're fucking kidding me. Most people, like, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. But listen, things are not cut and dry. They may look cut and dry on the television, and when they're in their fancy studios talking about whatever, because just because they're on TV, you've given them that credibility, and I understand that. But with that being said, I really need you to also understand that if you put forth heavy gun control and take all of our guns, morons, idiots, crooks, jackasses, and jerk-offs are still going to have guns. Just like weed's been illegal for a very long time. But people still get it with no problem. It just keeps the honest man out. That's it. It just keeps the honest man out. And the reason we have this amendment is to keep the government from running up in your houses. So far, it's been doing that. It's been keeping the government from running up in your houses and taking your food, this and that and that and this. And I understand it. That may sound crazy. But when Hillary was supposed to be elected, and by the way, it was rigged for her to win in multiple areas. It was rigged for her to win. We would have been in these FEMA camps, and martial law would have already been declared, because the FBI, CIA, all those other entities weren't going to fucking save you. And right now it's showing you, just like Roy Potter says, you can judge a man by his fruits. Obviously, man, woman, you can judge a man by his fruits. So the things that he does and the things that you see coming about, right? What you see coming about is a good way of judging people. Also, judging someone by their enemies. And if you see that their enemies are freaking terrible people, well, maybe that person's not so fucking bad. But that's another way. But you need to know what you're dealing with. And knowing the Constitution and knowing the difference between a republic and a democracy is very important. Okay, so what I'm telling you is, please don't be dumb. If they take away the guns, do you know how many Americans have guns? That's really putting a thumb down on certain things that they want to happen. It really is. And once they're able to push that, once it's gone, fuck, man. America's the last peg leg standing for freedom. It is. Once you take down America, the whole world is effed. This is really important. This is why I do these videos. Because myself, I'm a part of others who feel the same way, have done the research, and who would gladly sit down and paint the whole picture. Buy me some dinner and let's do some drinking. I'll paint the picture for you. But we're more than welcome to paint this picture and show you exactly what's going on. And the fact that we go by the Constitution, these are a set of rules, and I say this often. We go by these sets of rules, and we do not steer from that, or we don't steer far from it. There's a reason for this. This government isn't perfect, but it damn sure ain't others, okay? But it works really freaking well, and that's why people are chopping at the bit to get down here. And speaking of chopping at the bit to get down here, listen, real quick, can I mention that immigration, listen, it's like child services. Hear me out. With child services, right? A child can't really go into a home unless that home is checked out, right? Do they make enough money to provide for the child? Is the home safe? This and that and the other. They make sure, right? Or they deny people. Same with what the hell we should be doing with letting everybody in here in chain migration. The fact that we're calling them dreamers Oh, it's a very sweet word, but you need to bring in people that can help out the country, number one. And listen, most of y'all think this is on Spanish people. This is on anyone coming to the country, not just Spanish people. Get off of it. Listen, anyone coming into the country, we need to be able to vet. We need to know who we've got in this country because right now we're in debt. If it were child services, we would not be able to get nobody up in this. We are in debt, trillions, and you know this. Well, pensions, this and that, all these things are under attack because we've got all this stuff going on. Our system's effed. So please keep that in mind. I hope that hits the nail on the head. All right. Think of it as child services. And why do they do what they do? Why aren't we doing what we're supposed to be doing? We're not. Because we call them dreamers, and it's a sweet, sweet word. I understand. I understand. But listen, I'm not a racist. I got plenty of immigrant friends who want to do this the right way. Just keep that in mind. Once again, this is Jones. Thank you very much for coming down.